Precautionary for what? I'm
There are
asking.
sanctuary city policies
Yes, I understand. I understand what
that are in place that are allowing the refuge of illegal aliens in these cities, and there is an influx in crime and drugs
I understand
in
that.
these cities. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I rise today to offer my straightforward amendment that prohibits funds within this act from being used in violation of federal immigration law for sanctuary city policies. The concept of sanctuary city policies directly violate the rule of law. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4 of the United States Constitution gives Congress clear jurisdiction on immigration matters. A nation of laws must enforce established laws, not seek ways to circumvent them. These sanctuary cities are disregarding federal statutes by harboring thousands of illegal immigrants and providing a safe haven for violent criminals. My amendment prohibits the use of funds that are appropriated by this act from being used in contravention of Section 642A of the Illegal Immigration Reform and Immigrant Responsibility Act of 1996. This federal law prohibits sanctuary policies that obstruct law enforcement officials from sharing information regarding a person's immigration status within the Immigration and Naturalization Service. More than 200 state and municipal jurisdictions across the country have established policies that directly violate the law and shield criminal illegal aliens from enforcement. There is a complete and total invasion taking place at our southern border due to the Biden administration and the left's radical open border agenda. Since Biden has taken office, Border Patrol has encountered more than 6.3 million illegal aliens who have illegally entered America, released nearly 2.9 illegal aliens into our communities, and let more than 1.7 million known gotaways evade Border Patrol and enter the country with no record or knowledge of who these people are. The number of illegal aliens who have entered the interior of the United States under the Biden administration now is greater than the population of at least 22 states as well as Washington, D.C. It is not just illegal immigrants coming across the southern border, but enough fentanyl to kill every American 15 times over. This drug, mostly imported from China and continuously smuggled through our southern border, is killing children and destroying families throughout the country. Equally concerning is the fiscal last year alone. The FBI stopped more than 172 illegals on the terrorism watch list. Our porous southern border is literally a major national security risk. These open borders and sanctuary city policies are destroying America. Cities like Chicago, Denver, Houston, Los Angeles, and New York have continued to beg the federal government for more money to handle the unprecedented influx of illegal aliens rather than changing their illegal alien policies that have exasperated the problem. I thank the chairman of the committee and the committee's hard work on this bill, and I respectfully ask that my colleagues join me in support of the rule of law by voting in favor of my amendment. Mr. Chair, I reserve.
Gentlewoman reserves. Gentleman from Maryland.
I rise in perplexion.
The gentleman's
which
recognized.
I presume is objection.
Gentleman's recognized.
And I ask the gentlelady to yield for a question.
Gentleman's recognized. It's not my time.
I ask you to yield.
I have reserved. You're free to speak.
Yes, I'm asking if you'll yield for a question.
Sure. Ask your question.
What funds in this bill are used for the purposes you are opposed to?
Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear the gentleman. I was getting clarification. This is precautionary.
Precautionary for what? I'm asking.
There are sanctuary city policies.
Yes, I understand. I understand what
that are in place that are allowing the refuge of illegal aliens in these cities, and there is an influx in crime and drugs.
I understand
in these cities, and there's no There's no way for these folks to even report what is taking place because they are protected under this fake policy that has been created that is subduing the actual rule of law that we have in the Constitution of the United States.
Right? I understand that. But what you've said is none of the funds in this bill can be spent for that objective.
And that is precautionary.
What funds are in this bill to be spent for that objective?
I have seen this administration use all sorts of funds
No, I
to
didn't ask
protect
you.
illegal aliens. And this is
Reclaiming my time,
precautionary
Ms.
to
Boebert.
ensure that it will not be.
Reclaiming my time. There are no funds in this bill to do that. So this is just an opportunity for you to stand and perhaps speak about an important subject. I understand that, but there are no funds in this bill to accomplish that objective. You don't believe the chairman would put funds in to accomplish that objective, do you? I yield.
A question?
Yeah.
I do not trust this administration with any of the taxpayer funding that they are handling. They are mishandling our taxpayer fund. And if the gentleman says that there's no funds and agrees that this is precautionary, then I would urge that you support this amendment.
Do you understand, if we do this amendment, any subject that anybody has an interest in would be subject to such an amendment? Now, the Rules Committee has waived points of order, contrary to what they said they wanted done when we were in charge, because then they didn't want points of order so they could raise them. But there are no funds in this bill, Mr. Speaker, for the objective that the lady wants to prevent. And I guarantee you Chairman Womack would not have included any funds to protect such activity. I know him. I know he feels strongly about this. So this amendment has no place in this bill because there is no money in this bill. You can argue about the sanctuary cities. You can argue about the border. You can do all of that. But this is not the bill to do it on. And this raises, therefore, a suspicion that somehow there's money in this bill that Mr. Womack would have put in or that I would have sanctioned to accomplish that objective. That is simply not true, Mr. Chairman. And this has no place in this bill.
Okay. Gentleman reserve? Gentleman reserves. Chair would remind members to direct all remarks to the chair and to formally yield and reclaim time when under recognition. The gentlewoman from Colorado.
I just want to state one more time that the White House has had a reputation of spending funds to protect illegal aliens that have broken our nation's laws to illegally enter our country. And I want to make very clear in this financial service bill that these funds cannot be allocated in that way. If we don't put the cuffs on this administration somewhere, they will continue to go rogue and waste the tax dollars that are being brought in by the hardworking Americans to fund these services for illegal aliens and to protect them in these sanctuary cities. So I am putting the handcuffs on the Biden administration with this common sense amendment. And if the gentleman, as I said, agrees that there are no funds, then there should be no problem to say we cannot allocate funds to protect these sanctuary cities and these illegal aliens. Mr. Chair, I have spoken my piece on this amendment. I'm prepared to close. I yield.
The gentlewoman yields. Gentleman from Maryland.
I think the gentlelady has said, I've said there are no funds. There are no funds. But she said because of this amendment, she's going to handcuff the administration. You can't handcuff the administration on prohibiting funds that don't exist. I yield back and urge opposition.
The gentleman yields. The questions on the amendment offered by the gentlewoman from Colorado. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The amendment is agreed to.